What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at the Rocket from Avengers Endgame, and you can purchase this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. This is one of those figures where I held on to it. You know, it's a little bit expensive for what you're getting, in my opinion. And so I kind of just sitting on it, deciding on it, and finally pulled the trigger. I need it for my Endgame, lineup. I plan on getting everyone who showed up basically on Endgame, even Ant-Man, Wasp, all those guys, but I'm not in a rush to do so. I don't think they're gonna sell out, to be quite honest with you. If I'm being totally honest, you might be able to get it for cheap down the line. If you just wait a little longer. There's certain things like Rocket. Even if you miss him out right now, I believe there's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't know when that's coming out though, but I want to get the Endgame version. I was never excited for any Guardians movie, but when it comes to the big scheme, which is the Endgame, I just want every character in that movie. Eventually I will. I'm not rushing to the the Mantis and some of the characters like Shuri and all that stuff, but we'll get there eventually. But this guy was for 211, I believe, so it's not super expensive in terms of Hot Toys pricing. However, what you're gonna get out of it is the one that's kind of like, it's not a whole lot, I would say. I got it, and then I knew what I was getting myself into. It still feels I got ripped off, honestly, but that's just me. He comes with a decent amount of accessories. As you can see here, you got like a couple of guns, really. Well, two pairs. This one has a lot of details on it. Even the other gun, the smaller one that he does have, I do like it. There's a lot of details on him. Very nice. The paint application is beautiful. I never really paid attention. I think he only used it, like a few times in the movie, like towards the end. This is, I would say, a pistol that he used. Nice design. I like the Guardians 2 big gun better, but obviously he did not use that on the end game. But in terms of what you're getting, I would say the Guardians 2 packs in more than this guy. Although the scarves, I like this. It's rubber. It's not, I would say, aesthetically pleasing, because anytime that you incorporate rubber instead of the actual material like this, to me kind of degrades the value of what. I mean, this is a $200 figure. At the same time, I don't know, is this gonna stain the figure if you put it around his neck? I don't think so, because the figure doesn't even have a flesh tone color, so you'll be safe. But this is where I would say functionality is better for me, so I would sticking to the rubber version. And this is, I believe, the ether that they took, if I'm not mistaken, with Thor when they went back. This is the I guess the syringe or whatever it is that he got him, and this is the Infinity Gauntlet, from the nanotech. There's no peg in here, so I was a little disappointed. I thought I was can use this in an Iron Man or something like that, even just for a prop, but not really, because the hole in here is a bit too small. So then there's no peg inside as well, so that's kind of disappointing, but that's all right. It's more of a prop anyway, where he got it and he's running away with it and all that stuff. They were passing it along, so in that sense, I suppose it's fine. And this is the base for the Avengers Endgame. As you can see, I think that's the Ravager insignia right there, the logo, and his pole is short, which is cool. So you can put him in any poses as well. Now we'll take a look at his suit. You can see there's weathering on his boots there, his knee pads, and also the overall outfit is good, but it gives me the Black Widow vibe. I don't know if I'm just gotten used to Asmus or these companies, but you can see his gauntlet, his belt are all rubber, which is fine. Not a big deal. But at the same time, for 210, you want to have like a leatherish material on this guy, because if everything is rubber, it feels cheaper. in my opinion. So I'm glad they went with these boots. Like there's ankle articulation. I like the tail now. The peg. I had the old rocket from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It was fine, but this one is a bit more secured, and as you can see from the back, the actual material of the overall suit is nice. The leather, the supposed to be leather parts, are rubber, and it's good because it won't deteriorate. So that's one positive out of it. So it is. Would I rather have leather? Because I live in Chicago, which none of my leather materials deteriorate. So I'm okay with pleather. Feels better to me. But at the same time, if rubber is gonna last longer for most collectors, then I'm all for it. But at the same time, if you're going this route, make it cheaper. That's all I'm trying to say here. I'm okay with rubber. Totally fine with it. Not okay with the price that they tagged on this one. Now, as far as a rocket itself, we had a little bit of discussion here with a buddy of mine. I told him I thought Rocket would have been better if he wasn't sculpted. If it was kind of like Wicket, where it's actual fur. You don't need like longer fur. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comment section down below. But again, if you're paying $200, you want it to be as close as possible to the real thing. And I think that it's really minimal because most of his body is covered. So we're talking about just neck and the face area here. It might be cumbersome, but they were able to make it. They were able to do it to Wicket in a much larger scale, and they were able to maintain his price to under $200 or just about $200. So I don't think it's gonna be super hard to do that. But one thing that I missed out actually on the accessory section is his right here, his goggles. So you can see here. So he got two pairs of goggles. One, they're magnetized, so that's pretty awesome. So one just goes up his head, and one actually magnetized into his face, which is pretty cool option to have or feature, instead of just going through the rubber thing where you just put it over his head. The elastic band or so, because that tends to break and over time. So with the problem with magnets, you do it a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have some shine on the figure by removing it on and off. We'll worry about that later. But yeah, I'm for me, I like the magnet route better than the elastic band that you typically would see. That is more accurate though. However, I think they're going for the look where his fur is longer, as you can see here. You kind of see the you can't see where it starts and it ends. So I'm assuming their mentality here is that this is supposed to go under his fur. So supposedly, but here we are. So I'm just gonna showcase you the articulation here. So the neck is separate, so it's not one piece. So you have decent range of articulation on the neck. The suit is fine. You can see the elbow has double jointed there. You can do some even with the shoulder pads here. You can move them around. You can kind of work around with it. There's all sorts of articulation with this figure, surprisingly, on how small it is. Now his pants is a little baggy on that area, so you can't really do a whole lot of I mean, you could probably if you just work around with it. But it kind of scares me. I might rip off that part on the crotch area. But so you got toe articulation as well. You got ankle pivot. It's pretty much articulated for such a small figure, which is really impressive. Got some ab crunch in here. Even though he got some like hard material basically on his waist. So if you are a dynamic poser, this would work. This would work out really well. And I'll put them in some background here, some poses before we wrap this thing up. So like I said, I mean, the head sculpt, you gotta kind of put him in a dynamic pose. Oh, one thing that I also don't like is the hands. It comes with just a few pairs of hands, but I feel like they're not really for holding these guns. It keeps on falling off for me. Luckily the guns are it falls off in just it's not too high, so I didn't do any damage to the guns, but you just get that feeling that these hands are not meant for this, or it's not snug at least. And this is him right next to Groot. Obviously it looks nice for them to go well together. If you do have Groot, this is the Groot that I bought from Toy Anxiety for cheap, $80. So all in all, this set, it's not bad. Not bad at all compared to if I bought the Infinity War set before. And he also looks nice right next to Thor. Remember, this is in Infinity War background, but I really like this look compared to the Infinity War rocket. So this would work for me. This is more like true to the comics, I suppose, even though I didn't read the comics. But just aesthetically, I just like this look better. So obviously, we'll see what he looks like in Guardians 3. Hopefully, it's better and comes with at least 2 head sculpts. Because this look, as good as I like it, because it's meant for dynamic poses. If you're just going to pose him standing up like this, it kind of looks weird. And also, look at that. The box art itself is not even screaming. So, there you go, guys. What can I say? This is a good-looking figure. I'm not saying it's bad. I just feel like it's overpriced. You could wait. I believe you can get this on sale like secondhand or so. There's no known issue, at least that I can think of, with Rocket that could prevent you from buying this elsewhere. But if you want it now, head over to Big Bad Toy Store. What you could do as well is what I do is if I'm undecided about a figure, I buy it at Big Bad, put it on my pile of loot. Now you got like 90 days to see, whether you like the figure or not. If you cancel it, you still, you could, you don't get your money back after 7 days. You get it in the form of store credit, which I don't mind because I buy everything now at Big Bad because the shipping is really reasonable and their pile of loot just works out for me. But yeah, this is one of those figures where I would say unless you really love Rocket, go get him now. If not, you can kind of wait it out, see if there's a sale, or see if they're gonna announce Guardians 3. Maybe it'll come out as a better figure. Because even if you miss this out completely, you'll have another shot for sure. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And I'll see you in the next video.